Okay, so I'm going to do something a little wild today. Now, if you've been around for a while, you know I am not afraid to experiment in my content and go first, right? Like be the first one, be the example, and be the trailblazer of content creation and recording. But today's going to get a little weird. Okay. I'm not going to lie because I was listening to another podcast. So if you've heard of Armchair Expert, then you may be familiar with Monica Padman, one of the co-hosts of Armchair Expert. She started a podcast called Synced with one of her friends, Liz, and they started talking about having ChatGPT for like just different purposes. And I'm going to go on this like quick story about what they did and then just say, I don't endorse this. I don't really, but it was just really interesting. It's where the whole concept of this episode came from today. But they were talking about how women, I don't know if girls, women, I don't know what category, like what age to classify the people they were talking about, but they were using ChatGPT as like a makeshift boyfriend, like someone to have conversations with, help problem solve, and just talk to them. And so I won't get into the whole thing. You can go listen to the episode. I'll have it linked in the show notes, but I wanted to interview ChatGPT on some burning podcast questions that I hear all the time and just have a back and forth conversation because why not? Right? Like, I mean, why not? If you are a solo podcaster and you've been trying to figure out like, how can I make this a little less awkward? Why don't you practice with AI? Why don't you interview someone who isn't going to make you feel stupid or awkward, and it's just going to give you better interviewing skills? So that's what we're going to do today. I'm a little nervous about how this is going to turn out. But again, I told you like I'm going to go forth and do this first and then we'll see what happens. This could be something fantastic or it could be a total disaster. Either way, we're going to figure it out together. So let's get right to it. Okay, so if you're watching on the video, awesome. If you're not, if you're just listening, don't worry. I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm doing. So I have ChatGPT. I have the paid version, right? This is on my phone. It's on my desktop. I could do it on my iPad. I'm doing this from my phone. And the reason why is because on the mobile or tablet version of ChatGPT, you can actually talk to it like you're talking to another well-known Apple AI, Siri, right? I don't want to say her name too loud because then like everything will start going off like, oh, see, look, my phone's already like, are you talking to me? I'm listening. No. So what is going to happen is I'm going to ask it questions about podcasting and it's going to answer and it's going to sound like a person and it's going to be weird and wild and crazy, but I love it so much. It's going to be so fun. So I'm actually going to record this. So if you're listening on the audio version and you want to see what I'm actually doing, then go watch the YouTube video when it's available. But this is going to be super fun. So I'm going to start recording. So we'll have this recording of what this, what it all looks like. So let me see. Okay. And I did come up with questions. I came up with questions that I would ask ChatGPT. I had ChatGPT come up with questions that I would ask it. I know it's a whole thing. So I have my list of questions and we're going to jump right in and get right to it. Now, the prompt and the topic that I wanted to cover was all about brand partnerships and what it could look like to work with other brands. So that's kind of the premise, but we're just going to see where all this goes today. Okay. Are you ready? All right. So I'm going to click my little headphones button down here and we're going to get chatting. We're going to get chatting with ChatGPT. I should have gave it a fun name for today, but I didn't do that. Okay. Are you ready? Here we go. I'm holding down my button. All right. So I am interviewing today ChatGPT for the podcast, and I want to ask you some questions that has to do with your podcast and your content. So if your customers for your business were in a sitcom Who would be the quirky sidekick that keeps them coming back for more?
Well, KP, if your customers' lives were a sitcom, I'd say the quirky sidekick is definitely that burst of unexpected creativity or that one breakthrough idea that pops up at 2 in the morning. This sidekick doesn't always make sense, might derail the main storyline with wild antics from time to time, but ultimately brings a unique charm and value that just keeps everyone tuning in for more. It's all about those unexpected moments that make the journey fun and keep your audience coming back. How do you think that tracks with your audience's experience?
Okay, before I go any further, how wild was that, right? Like here we are in the age of this. Like I want to just pause for a second because I'm super impressed with AI, obviously. Like it is my passion. It is like I love it. Like anytime I talk to anybody, they ask me about something like, "Hey, how do you come up with this?" I'm like, "Did you ask AI? Did you use AI in some way?" Like they want to go on a trip somewhere. Did you talk to AI? Like I am so bought into having AI make my life easier. So what I love about this is they have really worked. And when I say they, the people that are developing this AI technology, they are working towards making it sound more like a human. Because it sounded like I was sitting there talking to someone, right? Like it has the inflections and the pauses and it has people, saying like there was pauses and ums and a natural cadence of me having a conversation with someone. So I love that so much. And again, I did this on my phone. And so once you're done, it actually gives you the text version. So now I have the text version. So I was like, wait, what? What did they say? You can go back and you can read exactly what they said. So if something doesn't make sense or you needed to take a pause and like go and read exactly what they said, then you could do that. I also realized that this is like a super silly question that I asked, and that was kind of intentional to kind of break the ice and get the conversation going. But I do have some other questions that I wanted to ask it specifically for podcasters and content creators and business owners. So that's what we're going to go into next. We're going to talk about having diehard fans and diehard customers for your business. So, question number 2. Okay, yeah, that was helpful. But now I want to talk about how do I make someone a diehard fan for my business? Like you as a content creator, what's your secret formula? And is it one part's like just doing the hard work, 2 parts making things really high quality, and then just a dash of magic? How does that work for you?
You're right on track with that recipe. It's definitely about putting in the hard work consistently and ensuring everything you produce is of high quality. That sets the foundation. But that dash of magic, that's where your unique voice and authenticity come into play. For someone like me, it's about truly understanding and connecting with the users, offering them what they need before they even know they need it, and always keeping it engaging. For your podcast and content, that magic might be how you relate to your listeners, as if you're right there in the room with them, giving them that blend of expertise and entertainment that they can't find anywhere else. It's about, creating those moments where they think, wow, this is exactly what I needed to hear today. So what do you think has been that magical ingredient in your work so far?
Ooh, this is a question to me. So I clicked pause so I can sit here and chat with you, but we're going to keep going. We're going to keep the conversation going. So I think one of my strengths in my content is that I keep it very real and I like to focus on no one being perfect. We all make mistakes and just being that raw, authentic version of yourself can really help customers relate to you. Is that the right approach?
Absolutely, KP. That's a winning approach. Embracing imperfection not only humanizes you, but also builds a deeper connection with your audience. People love to see the real unpolished side because it reflects their own experiences and struggles. It makes your content more relatable and trustworthy. You're showing them that it's okay to be a work in progress, and that authenticity is really what helps turn casual listeners into diehard fans. It sounds like you've already mastered one of the key elements of creating a strong, loyal community. Do you find your audience responding particularly well to certain types of stories or content where you showcase this authenticity?
Yes, I think my audience really appreciates personal stories of when I've messed up or I've overcome a challenge or I've just shared the messy middle of my journey instead of just the highs and the lows that they would expect. Could you give me some ideas of storytelling that I could implement in my content that may resonate with an audience like that?
KP. Sharing those personal stories is a great strategy because it not only keeps your content genuine, but also incredibly engaging. Here are a few storytelling ideas you might consider weaving into your content. 1. Failure to success. Episodes where you dive deep into a specific instance where you faced a significant setback or failure, and then outline the steps you took to turn it around. This not only shows resilience, but also provides a learning opportunity for your audience. 2. Day in the life. Offer a behind-the-scenes look at your typical day or what goes into creating a podcast episode or course. This transparency can demystify the process and make your audience feel closer to you. 3. Community spotlights. Feature stories from your community members who are applying your teachings. Hearing from peers can be incredibly motivating for your audience, showing them real-world applications of your advice. 4. Expert mistakes. Invite experts in your field to share a significant mistake they made in their career and what they learned from it. It shows that everyone, even experts, can falter and learn. 5. Challenge series. Run a series where you tackle a new challenge related to your field, documenting your progress and setbacks. It could be anything from trying a new content strategy to learning a new skill that's relevant to your audience. These approaches can really highlight the human side of the content creation journey, encouraging your audience to stick with you through ups and downs. What do you think might resonate most with your listeners?
I think all of them will. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, KP. I'm glad to hear that those ideas fit well with your vision. It sounds like you're going to have some really engaging content coming up. Can't wait to see how your audience responds to these new stories. If you need more ideas or any other help down the line, just let me know. Happy podcasting.
Okay, how fun was that? Like, so much fun, right? Like, I know this is mind blowing. First of all, I hope that you heard, like, I'm already like, ooh, I'm so glad I can go back. So, again, I can go back to, all of these ideas, like, they are outlined. I'm like showing you on my phone. They're outlined in this like beautiful list that I could go through later, and it will, like, I'm keeping these. These are for me. I'm going to have these. Just I love this so much. You can tell I'm like getting all over myself because I think that this is so important for those of you that are stuck. You have what's, writer's block or podcaster's block. It's hard to do that when you're just talking and that's your medium. But I hear from so many of you that are solo podcasters and you're like, it's just easier whenever I have someone to have a conversation with. Well, here's a easy solution to get you started. And maybe you're like, well, Crystal, that's really awkward. And my audience won't get that, or they won't understand that, or that only works because you talk about content. What do I do for me? Well, you could absolutely customize an avatar for AI. Like this one, I don't remember its name, like the voice. I previously had a woman and then I changed to this guy just to have a little bit of diversity of voices on this episode today. But you could have it it. So do you notice how it called me KP? This is my nickname because I don't want it to call me Crystal all the time. That feels really weird. So I gave it this nickname. I was like, you call me KP. It's set up in my settings. You can go into ChatGPT and change it, but it calls me KP and I don't even have a name for it. It's just like, hey, ChatGPT, I should call it something else. But the point is, if you are saying, I'm stuck, I am sitting here offering so much valuable information that you could go take and use it for however you're comfortable using it. Yeah, it's weird. You probably shouldn't do this for all of your episodes. Maybe you will. Maybe you'll embrace it. You and ChatGPT will start your own podcast where you talk about plants or you talk about Texas history, like whatever it is. But I think it's so valuable to experiment and try new things. And I wanted to come here today just to show you what's possible and to give you some insights into these great ideas. Did you listen to the valuable information? Like some of it's, it's like stuff we already know, or it may not be worth implementing because I've already tried that. I've already done it, but there was some nuggets of wisdom in there that I'm like, ooh, I'm going to go try that. The challenge series. Like, why didn't I think of that? Why haven't I done a challenge series where we take really difficult problems within podcasting or content creation and we go and tackle them, or I go and talk to people that have tackled them? These were great ideas. And so I wanted to come here today, do this experimental episode and show you that it can be done, as awkward as it is and as weird as it sounds. I wanted to try something different and show you that it was absolutely possible. So today's episode is going to be cut a little short, but that was the intention of it. It was an experiment to see what you thought about it. I want you to reach out and tell me. So if you're watching on the YouTube video, put in the comments, let me know what you thought about today's video. If you want to see more of this, if you want me to try 10 other things. Should I start a podcast with the ChatGPT and give it a name and all the things? I will put all the disclaimers that, this was created with artificial intelligence because I'm proud of it. This was totally something that was not just me generating it, and it was AI endorsed. It was AI, what is it? What's the word? I'm trying to think. That YouTube now has a disclaimer that you have to put on your content that says was this, actually I have my YouTube channel open. So I'm going to go look at it and I'm going to put a screenshot up here of what it says, but you have to put a disclaimer now that says, let's see, does the following describe your content? It's called altered content. It says, makes a real person appear to say or do something they didn't say or do. It alters the footage of a real event or place, or generates a realistic looking scene that didn't actually occur. So I didn't really do any of that, but it does say this includes realistic sounds or visuals made with AI or other tools. So I'm going to put yes, just because I'm risk averse and I'd rather have it on there than not have it on there and get in trouble later. So I will say yes, we did some stuff where it was kind of pretending to be a different person, even though I told you it was ChatGPT, all the things. But I'm excited about this. I am going to continue to experiment. So if you're watching on the YouTube channel, drop in the comments. If you're listening on the podcast, reach out on Instagram and tell me, how was this listening experience? Would you listen to a podcast with an AI, you and an AI or someone else in an AI? Because whenever I heard the conversation that Monica and Liz had on Synced, they were having an actual in-person conversation, and then they were conversing with ChatGPT, and it was so incredible how dynamic everything was. It sounded like there was another person. It sounded like there was a third person there that they were talking to, and they would cut it off in the middle of it. It's no, you're not making sense, or no, that's not right. And it was actually dynamic in the way that if someone were rudely interrupting you, then that's what it would sound like. You would have that cut off of the dialogue right in the middle of someone saying something. And so I find it fascinating, and I think it's so interesting. I want you to experiment too. So reach out on Instagram, send me an email, crystal@crystalproffitt.com, and let me know your thoughts. But That's all I have for you today. So make sure you are following or subscribe to the podcast wherever you are listening and watching. And as always, remember, keep it up. We all have to start somewhere.